Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to solve an equation with two square roots. I will show you guys the traditional way first. So from here, we want to have one square root on one side first. Let me move this to the other side. So we have square root of 8x plus 13 equal to 5 minus square root of 2x minus 3. And then from here, I can just go ahead and square both sides so that the square and square root cancel. And on the right hand side, you do have to multiply it out. You can use the formula, which it says you take the first term, you square that, 5 squared is 25, and then bring down the minus, and you do 2 times the first term and the second term. 2 times 5 is 10, and then you also put this down right here. At the end, you add this thing square, which the square and the square root cancel, so you just have 2x plus 3, right? And now, on the right-hand side, you see that the 25 minus 3, we get the 22, and I will put down the 2x first right here. Okay, let me subtract 2x on both sides. Likewise, minus 22 on both sides, so that this and that will cancel, this and that will cancel. This will be on the right-hand side, negative 10 times square root of 2x minus 3. And then on the left-hand side, we have 6x minus 9, right? And then from here, we square both sides again, because I want to get rid of the square root. Okay, so you multiply this out, you get this, 36x squared minus 108x plus 81. Right here, negative 10 squared is 100. Square root square is a parentheses now, 2x minus 3. And then you see that, let's go ahead, distribute the 100. On the right-hand side, we have 200x minus 300. This is now a quadratic equation, right? So I'm going to just minus 200x on both sides, plus 300 on both sides, so that this will cancel out, this will cancel out, and then we have the 0 on one side. This is a giant quadratic expression, but it's actually factorable. Just have some patience and just try or use a quadratic formula if you wish. Do however you would like, and then you get 2x minus 3 times 18x minus 127. You end up with 0. You make the first factor equal to 0. You make the second factor equal to 0. From here, you get x is equal to 3/2. From here, you get x is equal to 127 over 18. When we have an equation with square roots, you should always plug in the answers that we get back to the original, because we may end up with fake answers, right? In our case, this number, 127 over 18, is actually a fake answer, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is the only legitimate answer. Be sure you do the legit check, all right? Just like shopping on Craigslist on eBay. But anyway, this is the correct answer for that after you do the check, all right? And now let me show you guys a much quicker way. So right here, why don't we just square both sides already, right? So let me see, I'm just going to square both sides so that on the left-hand side, since I can cancel all that. And you see, this is just now 8x plus 13 and then plus 2x minus 3. And this is equal to 25. And 8x plus 2x, that's 10x. And then 13 minus 3 is plus 10. And this is equal to 25. And now let me minus 10 on both sides, yeah? And we get what? This is 10x equal to 15. Then I can divide both sides by 10. Look at, what's the answer? 15 over 10, which is the same as 3 over 2. And you see, this right here, it's the same as that. And now, as you guys know, let's go ahead and use Wolfram Alpha to check our answer. Okay, I call this one of my interesting bad questions, because this right here is definitely the absolute legitimate way to do the question, right? This right here, you guys know the mistake. I cannot just cancel the square root and the square like that, because I have two terms inside, right? Right here. So don't do this, even though I end up to have the same answer. But once again, this right here is not correct. And you will be wondering, how come that we were so lucky to end up to have 3/2 as well? Before I show you, let me just cross this out first. Don't get too excited right here, all right? This is the reason why. Because we happen to have x is equal to 3/2, right? And when x is equal to 3/2, if we plug it into the original equation, let's see what happens. So let me do that right here for you guys. Square root And the first square root will have 8, and then the x is 3/2. Let me just put down 3/2 right here. And then plus 13 after that, plus square root of 2x, which is 3/2. So let me put down the 3/2 right here. And let me put down the minus 3 after that. Is this going to give us 5? And now let me just show you guys all the steps. Right here, just work this out. This is 8 times 3/2, which is going to be what? You just get 12, right? Just cancel things out and then multiply. You get 12 plus 13, which is 25. And you have square root of 25. Let me just keep it down. That's how it is. Right here, you add. Inside here, 2 and 2 cancel. And you have 3 minus 3, which is 0. And once again, let me just write it as square root of 0. And then is this going to give us 5? And the answer to this is, yes, this is definitely 5, because this is just a 0. And now check this out. Earlier, when we just square both sides like this and then cancel the radicals out, like, unreasonably, right? It was technically okay because this term is 0. So I'm just squaring this anyway. So check this out. If I just square the whole thing like this, well, 0 doesn't matter. That's why I was technically just cancel the square with that square root. So I end up with 25 on the left hand side. And then of course 5 squared is 25, right? Because once again, inside here is technically secretly just one term. When x is 3/2, it happens to be 0. So in my opinion, this is an interesting bad question, because when we assign this equation to students, and many of the students will just go ahead and do this, right? And they will happen to get the same answer with the wrong steps. What do you guys think?